the Fritz. Sports talk. Every play, every hit, each touchdown, each blitz.
Live from D&D Studios, where if it's orange, it matters. Here's your hosts, David and Dustin.
What's up, everybody, and welcome in to On the Fritz Sports Talk, where if it's orange, it matters. And if it's stressful, it's probably Tennessee sports. I'm David.
And I'm Dustin. Today we've got a packed show. Baseball is back. Softball is dominating. Basketball is making people re-up their blood pressure medicine. Daytona 500 was chaos at 200 miles an hour. And we're ending with a Tennessee football debate that maybe has ended friendship since the 90s.
Ball Nation, buckle up. This show has more turns than the Daytona and more emotions than a late-game Tennessee lead. Let's open it up with Tennessee baseball opening weekend with Nicholls State. Baseball is back, optimism is undefeated, and everyone's ERA still looks great on paper.
Yeah, you know, we were wondering if the hitting was still going to be there and if the players were going to buy in. And man, Blaine Brown, holy got to be the MVP of the weekend.
Has to be. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. You know, Tennessee scored 27 runs in 3 games to Nicholls State 3. You know, great weekend, great offensive production. They had no defensive errors. They had no mental setbacks. They run-ruled the first game 10-0 in 8 innings. Your starter in that first game was Tegan Kahn. He's 1-0 now. He pitched 6 2/3 innings. Only gave up 2 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts, and only 1 walk.
Yeah, in relief, Nick Abram had 1.1 innings pitched, 0 runs, 2 strikeouts. Home runs, you know, we were wondering if that was going to be there. Blaine Brown had 2, Henry Ford had 1, RBIs, Brown 4, Ford had 2, Reese Chapman had 2. I mean, it's just, it's like they didn't miss a beat.
They didn't, and fielding in that first game was just phenomenal. Defense was great. Nicholls State just didn't show any kind of production at all with what Tennessee had on the mound, what they played in the field. It was great opening night, and then we moved on to Saturday, Valentine's Day. They did do a doubleheader because of the forecast of heavy rain on Sunday. In game 1, Landon Mack started. He pitched 5 1/3 inning, gave up 1 run, had 5 Ks, but Tennessee did win that game 5-1. The key play in that was a double play by Manny Marin and Ariel Antigua.
And was that just not beautiful?
Yeah, it was beautiful. And then we moved on to the second game that day on Valentine's, which Tennessee just absolutely smacked them, run-rolled them again in 7 innings.
Yeah, I think Nicholls State, at that point, I mean, you just had to be deflated, run out of steam. It would have been hard to take the field in that third game
There
after
could have been,
the whooping.
you know, I imagine Nicholls State had no motivation to want to play that third game.
No, I would not think so. No.
But Tennessee beat them in 7 innings, run-rolled them 12-2. Evan Blanco, he's 1-0 now. He pitched 5 innings, did have 2 earned runs, but he had 5 Ks. The offense was led by Ariel Antigua, Stone Lawson, and Chris Newsom in that game. There's not been any no-hitters so far in the 3 games that we've played this season, but
it's going to come.
I think it
looks
come.
bright for that.
You know, for the weekend, Blaine Brown.
Like I said, he has to be the MVP.
He had 9 at-bats, he had 5 hits. He's batting .571, had 3 home runs and 4 RBIs in the first 3 games.
I mean, what more can you ask for from a baseball player in 3 games to start a season?
But then you've got Henry Ford, 10 at-bats, 4 hits. He's batting .417. He hit a home run.
Yeah, Reese Chapman, 8 at-bats, 4 hits, 600 average, 2 doubles. I mean, we could keep going. Antigua, 9 at-bats, 3 hits, 333 average, 3 RBIs. I mean, it's just go down the stat sheet. It's
So team totals, they're batting right at .325 for the season. Not a bad start. They did hit 8 home runs on opening weekend. Didn't get a grand slam. I was kind of hoping we'd see a couple of those to see if we could start off like we did last year. But that's still coming.
But is that just us as fans just being greedy of
Absolutely
what
is
we
us fans.
have done in the past?
Absolutely is us as fans. Tonight, if you want to go check them out, they'll be down there on the campus playing UNC Asheville tonight.
Yeah, do you remember what happened last time we played them?
No, I don't.
Well, we outscored them 29-4, and they run-rolled it in the 7th. I don't know if we're going to see a quite repeat of that, but this past weekend, we may.
Could very well. The way the bats are swinging, they're hot. And then this weekend, we got a 3-game series starting Friday night with Kent State. I expect to see the same 3 starters we had in games 1, 2, 3 this past weekend.
How bad do you feel for these teams walking into that gauntlet? I mean, I know it's about revenue and getting money for your team, but
it is. I do feel bad for these teams. I remember Kent State walking in here in football a couple of years ago, knowing that they did not stand a chance.
Oh, I mean, the coach pretty much said that.
Yeah,
but
they got a big payday. It's great for their program exposure.
Yeah, but
don't know if that's the exposure you really want.
Right, and as a player, your coach is like, "Yeah, we're going to lose." Like, how do you even get motivated to get on the field to play that game? Like, you're already defeated before you even step foot on the field.
Well, you're defeated before you leave Kent State. So.
Well, true. True.
You're defeated the year before when you see it on the schedule.
Yeah.
So. But, they came in here, we spanked them. I expect Tennessee is going to go undefeated again this weekend.
I would be shocked if they didn't.
I think their offensive production is going to be as good as it was last weekend, maybe better. I hope to see a grand slam. But I expect to be 7-0 after this week.
And not ending there. The softball team.
10-0 start.
Number 1 now? We're ranked number 1 now?
Nation. They've scored 76 runs in 10 games to their opponent, scoring 4.
And I'm pretty sure Oklahoma scored most of those in one game.
I'm pretty sure you're right. They've had 2 combined no-hitters in 10 games. They've had 6 games allowing 1 hit or less.
I mean, those ladies
so that's
are just
2 no-hitters. That's 4 one-hitters. Pitchers.
Yeah,
Carlin Pickens, 5-0 with a .42 ERA. She's pitched 38 innings, 62 strikeouts, and only 6 walks.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. That's like video game numbers.
It is. I mean, this team is scary. Tennessee softball's always been strong for the past few years.
But
I've not seen this kind of production.
As of right now, this is another level of dominance.
This is Oklahoma level dominance, where they've been the past few years. And I'd be scared to play these Lady Vols. I wouldn't want to see them on my schedule.
Well, look, the leading hitter right now, McKenna Gibson, .417 average, 15 hits, 3 home runs, and 12 RBIs.
Yeah, Kiki Malloy, 364 average, 12 hits, 10 RBIs. I mean, look at their team totals. They're batting .340. They've got 11 home runs. Their defense is phenomenal. They've given up 4 runs in 10 games. I'm not going to try to figure up the math on the average of that, but it's not a lot.
Well, and I just feel like we're just deja vu of what we just talked about the baseball team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane right now.
And they've got this Thursday and Friday they play Missouri State. No, I lied. It's not this. Yeah, that is this Thursday and Friday. They do play Missouri State. I expect nothing but dominance in that.
And again, how bad do you feel for Missouri State?
I feel really bad. They're coming in knowing that, you've got the number 1 team in the nation. You've got the number 1 pitcher in the nation. You've got the number 1 scoring team in the nation. That's going to be tough. You've got to try to get your players up. Maybe they can sneak a win out of this. I hope not.
Yeah.
But I expect Tennessee to remain undefeated.
I don't expect a loss in that series.
And then tournament play this weekend as well. I don't know the teams that are in that tournament. I tried to find it. There's not a lot of information out on it. But I expect them to be undefeated. When they come Monday, I expect them to remain at number one. I actually would not be surprised if they run the rest of the season up there at the top notch.
You would, I mean, with those stats, I mean, how can you argue against that at this point in time?
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
But we'll cover some more on this Tennessee softball season. We'll see what happens this weekend, and we'll talk to you next week about them. But we're going to move on to basketball.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah. They're elite on defense. They're elite on stress.
It's hard to watch at this point. Like, you don't know what you're going to get.
I don't get where we're jumping out to big leads, and then we collapse. Is it a mental thing where they're kind of like, oh, we've got this game, we don't have to play as hard? I don't think it's that at all.
Well, and two, I think sometimes you're not switching players in and out enough towards the end. I think sometimes they're just running out of gas.
Well, I think that too. I do know we do have some injury. Cade, he's still out. Will be out the rest of the year. Akpara is coming back. I don't think he's 100%.
Yeah, but even with the injuries, you're dominant in the first half, and then the second half you're just flat.
Yeah, you're dead in the water.
I mean, we should have 2 to 3 more wins than we have right now from just collapsing.
Absolutely. We shouldn't have lost either game to Kentucky.
That's
embarrassing.
That's an understatement. Like, there's no way we should have lost that game.
No, either one of them. 17-point lead in the first game, 14-point lead in the second game. In the second half, those leads happened, and it all disappeared.
And how much mentally could this possibly be with the comments that Barnes had previously said about players maybe point shaving and betting? And
I don't think that's taken an effect on them at all. I think they know it was a comment he shouldn't have made. I think he was joking and all that.
I would hope so, but still, I still think that as a player, your coach accusing you of something like that, that's got to be detrimental in that locker room on some sort of level.
Maybe so. Barnes is Barnes. He's got great character.
I mean, he
loves his guys.
I mean, he's a Hall of Famer for sure. But
absolutely.
That comment still lingers with me. Is like,
it does. I think it was a poor taste joke.
Mm-hmm.
But the last 2 games, Gillespie's averaged 18 points. His perimeter defense lockdown. He's been great on defense.
Yeah, our rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah.
And, Nate Edmond, I think he's coming into his own as a point guard for Tennessee. Hopefully we see a big step forward next year.
Yeah,
if he stays around.
I don't think his production this year has been good enough to move on. I think he'll stick around. I think he'll pad those draft stock and try to move up to top tier, top 5 pick.
I mean,
he's got the potential there. He scored 16 points in game 1 this week, had 22 points and 9 rebounds in game 2. It's great weeks, but you got to look back at November and December and early January when his offensive production just wasn't there.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of it was like a deer in headlights. Coming to like one of the biggest arenas in college basketball, and that rabid fan base. Like,
you got 21,000 people. You're coming from maybe 1,000 seat gymnasium.
I mean, I'm sure that's got to be a little jarring for a young kid.
To be. JP Estrella, he's playing well. He had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks in the first game this week. Had 16 points and 9 rebounds in game 2. We've got the production there.
Oh, and like I said, rebounding's been up there. And something I highly criticized was free throw percentage.
Yeah, early season they were shooting 68%. They have increased that to 74%. So
which you're going to need that if you get into the tournament. And I'm not sold that we're getting into the main tournament. NIT probably.
I think we're in the tournament. I think we're alive. If we win this week, I don't see how we can't be.
If we win.
If we win.
And I'm not sold that we're going to win these next games.
I think their growth on defense has been great through the SEC season so far, early SEC games, I saw just pitiful defense. They're starting to shut them down until they collapse in the second half.
Right, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's a head scratcher. Like, what are we doing to take our foot off the gas?
So I think moving forward, they've got to get better at their closeouts. Like I said, it could be fatigue, could be a mental thing. Maybe they're just, as a team, they're like, we got a 17-point lead. Let's lay back.
Well, and how do you coach that? How do you get around that?
That's absolutely all on Barnes. You got to get them mentally ready, and you got to get them ready to play 40 minutes from start to finish. Just hardcore basketball. Don't let up at all. And if we win by 50, yay.
And it's just an uncharacteristic Rick Barnes team at this point.
It is.
And this part into the season, you would think all of this would have already been swept under the rug and been taken care of.
It is. I think, we've got LSU tomorrow night at home.
It's going to be a big test.
It's going to be a big test. I think we win that game. We go to Vanderbilt Saturday.
Loss. I'm going to say it right now. Loss.
I'm going to say we win.
It's one of the wonkiest arenas to play in.
It is a wonky arena to play in. But
and say what you will about Vandy. Vandy basketball, those students turn out, and they make it like rockets in there.
They do. I also look at Tennessee on the road, with the exception of the Kentucky game. They went to Alabama. They won at Alabama. They went to Georgia. Didn't expect that. They won at Georgia. I think they go into Vanderbilt. I'm going to say they have their most complete game of the year.
I don't see it. If I was putting money on it, I would take Vandy.
Well,
money line.
If I was putting money on it, I would take Tennessee, and I would say Gillespie and Ament both score 20 plus.
I would love to see it. I don't know.
Right now they are sitting projected 5 to 7 seed. They can still move up to maybe a 4 or 5 seed, but they have to win out. And to win out, they've got to finish games. They've got to hit free throws and win the road games, which they do this Saturday.
I still say, I think I said previously, I see a 10 to 12 seed for this team if they get in. And like I said, I don't know how far they'll go. The seeding in the SEC tournament is really going to determine, I think, if they get into the tournament or not. If they have a gauntlet, I don't think they survive it.
No, I agree with you there. I will agree with you. I think we're going to be in the SEC tournament. I don't think there's any doubt about that. There's much worse teams than we are in the SEC.
Yeah, but you got to also look at the idiocracy of how you get into that tournament. Like, teams get in with a losing record. You have no business. I don't care if you won your conference tournament or not. If you have a losing record, you should not be in the dance.
I agree.
And I think some of those teams that are likely going to do that is going to prevent Tennessee from getting in. And you've seen it over the years. So much controversy with it. They keep talking about expanding it. I'm like, how about you just don't let teams in with a losing record, regardless of what the conference?
I agree with that, but then
remember the SEC?
It's going to be tough to build that 64 plus 4.
Well, and several years ago, Georgia miraculously won the SEC tournament, got in with a losing record. Now, they did go on a run and win the first 3 games, but instead of letting Georgia in, let the team with the best record in that conference in over a team with a losing record.
Yeah.
And that would solve a lot of this.
It would.
And I think, unfortunately, I could see that happening where Tennessee ends up and then no one's interested tournament, the NIT.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're definitely locked in the NCAA. I don't think they're going to.
I'm not getting my hope up on it.
I've
been battled for so many years watching these games.
I'm even going to go as far as say they've got to play Vanderbilt. This week, they got to play Vanderbilt. I think 8 days later, 9 days later, they're going to win both those games.
At best, I see 50-50 with the way the team's playing right now. Now, if they turn a corner and they clean up
they keep turning the corner, but then they turn right back and go in reverse. So
yeah.
I think they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be mad because of the way Vanderbilt came in here in football and just whipped us with what's his name?
I hope that's a motivation, but I don't know if every player would have that motivation. I'm sure Barnes does, 100%.
Oh, absolutely. And I bet you anything, Coach Heupel goes in that locker room and gives him a pep talk.
You would think that would happen, and one thing about the Tennessee Athletics, all of these coaches support each other. They show
do.
up at each other's games.
They do.
They go to locker rooms. I remember back in the day when Pearl showed up to a Lady Vols game painted orange. I mean, do you see Gino Aramont
You
do
do
anything
not.
like that,
You do
or
not. You
any
do
other
not.
like? So that is one thing that I do respect about these coaches at Tennessee. They really do lean on each other. I mean, football coaches used to go talk to Pat Summitt about motivating, and
Yeah, but Pat Summitt's probably the most elite motivating coach ever in Tennessee.
ever.
Maybe ever.
I mean, how many other coaches can say 100% of their student athletes graduated?
Nobody.
I mean, if there's somebody out there I'm missing, please let us know. But as far as I know, she is the only coach in NCAA history, at least D1, where 100% of her players graduated.
Yeah, you're right.
And she used to have coaches go out, and players had to sit in the first 2 rows of class.
Yeah,
And if you didn't, I would not want to go to that practice.
I wouldn't want to go to her practice anyways.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's talk
Yeah.
about this Joey Aguilar thing. You know, they
Man,
had their
oh,
court case last
God
Friday.
almighty.
No ruling. I expect that ruling this afternoon or tomorrow. I think the judge in this case was wanting to write his response so in depth that he didn't want to give a ruling because he's going to write it so in depth that the NCAA, it's going to take them 6-9 months to a year to even get an appeal. I think Joey Aguilar will be on the field this fall. You know, he can practice with the team right now. We're just waiting on that judge to say, yes, you get to play. Yes, the NCAA is going to appeal. It's going to take a while. I don't think they can get it done quick enough. What happens if we get in the middle of the season and their case goes? I don't see that happening.
And two, like, I'm not for government stepping in with athletics and making rulings and stuff. But at this point, either the NCAA has to make clear-cut rules or the government needs to step in because, like, one case goes to a state level, one case goes to the federal level. Like, at some point, some structure has to happen, especially for these kids, not kids, young adults.
If I'm not mistaken, was this case not on a federal level and Aguilar brought it back to a state level?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, I believe so, because the original case got thrown out, and he refiled it in Knox County.
Yeah, see, like, there's got to be a structure set in place.
There does. And
mainly to help these young adults.
Yeah.
You know?
They're money hungry. They're seeing all this money being thrown out. I mean, if I was 18 years old, I saw $8 million floating in front of me, yeah, I'm going to try to take it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's going to be very hard to turn down, especially if you come from, lower income households. That can help your mom, your dad, your brothers, sisters. Like, of course you're going to take the money. But what I'm saying, though, is just like, it seems like every day, like, oh, this player can play. Oh, well, this player, no. Well, okay, well, she's okay to play, but her, yeah, no, she's not eligible.
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah, I don't like the state of college sports right now with the NIL. We've talked about it before. We'll talk about it again in the next week or so.
Yeah,
Got to get to collective bargaining before all this straightens up. But you know what's funny? It's only in college football that you have to have a lawyer and a playbook.
Yeah. Now, you might have seen some rarefied air this past weekend at the Daytona 500.
Daytona 500 was fantastic. It was a great race. Tyler Reddick won it.
Yes.
Michael Jordan's his car owner. So now Michael Jordan is not only a 6-time NBA champion, he's got the Daytona 500 under his belt.
Yeah, so he's 6-time NBA champion, NBA MVP, slam dunk winner, and Daytona 500 winner.
Yep.
This is insane.
It is insane. The pre-race favorite was Joey Logano. Didn't have the best races.
Yeah,
Bubba Wallace led
know.
the most laps, which kind of surprised me. There were 12 cautions. There was an early wreck in, I believe it was stage 2, that Eric Almirola, Michael McDowell, Hunter Nemechek, and Carson Hocevar, they all just wiped out. It was their first big one.
And over the years, that a lot of people turn into the 500 because there's going to be wrecks in that race.
And I take that back. That was a stage 1 wreck at the end.
Okay.
The stage
Yeah, I
2
couldn't remember if it was
the stage 2 big one. You had Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Ross Chastain, Chase Briscoe. Half the field was gone in 3 seconds.
And this begs the question, and I've thought this for years. I think there's too many cars on the track. I think
I don't think that. You've got to have that 40, 41, 42 cars just to make it interesting. You only put 20 cars out there.
Would you see less wrecks?
But that's what you want to see. That's
the
part
novice
of,
fan, yes.
That's part of NASCAR. I'm a huge NASCAR fan. I've been to several races, several different tracks. I've been to races where there was action, lots of wrecks. I've also been to races where there was one caution. That's boring. You don't want to see anybody get hurt, but you want to see the spin outs. You want to see the wrecks. You want to see the bump drafting. You want to see it getting side by side and trading rubber. You don't see trading rubber anymore. Bristol used to go to, there wasn't a car come out there clean. They all had rubber marks going down the side. Now with these new cars, it's a clean race. It's a boring race. I want to see it go back. But we'll see. Maybe it will in the future. They're still leaning towards getting rid of the playoffs. It hasn't happened yet. So we're going to have the playoffs this year. Hopefully this will be the last year.
And that's the biggest thing I hear from fans. I have not heard anyone that likes the playoff structure in NASCAR right now.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the playoff structure. I haven't been since day one.
And honestly, I don't fully understand it. Like, it's just...
It really makes no sense the way they come upon, I'd have to dig in deeper. The rule used to be you win a race, you was automatically in the playoffs. My question is, and it's never going to happen, but what would happen if every racer in the field won one race that year?
Right.
You've got a 16-car limit. You've got 38 drivers that won a race, which can't happen because they race 34 races. But say you do have 34 different winners. How do you pick your field then? You've got to go back to points, which is the original formula, which is the way it needs to be.
Well, and two, if you luck into winning a race, but you crash in 10 more, why would you get in?
Right. I agree. I think it ought to be, I think if you win a race, you're at the front of the line to possibly get in. But you need to look at top 5 finishes. You need to look at top 10 finishes. Mm-hmm. You need to look at runner-up finishes. You need to look at did not finish.
And almost structure it like hockey, where you get points for certain achievements.
Right. And there is a point system. But you don't really see the point system take that big of an effect until you get into the playoffs. I don't like it. I want to get away from it. I want it all points and go back the old way. But we got to finish out this Daytona 500. And that final lap was
everything you want to see at the 500 on that final lap.
Everything you want to see. Chase Elliott.
Luckily, no one got hurt. Everyone walked away.
Everyone did walk away, but it was pretty gnarly at the finish line. Elliott was leading coming off turn 4. Reddick dove down from the top of the track, went underneath Elliott, coming to the finish line. And then you had Elliott, Logano, Byron, Kozlowski, and Burton just spun out and caused a big wreck at the finish line. Elliott went from 1st to 4th. Reddick won. He led one lap, which was lap 200, mile 500, and he won by less than a car length.
And I mean, how disappointed would we be if the final lap there was no chaos?
Yeah. I
mean, you're grown to expect chaos on that final lap at the 500.
You do. And Daytona doesn't care who should have won. It's who is there at the end. He led a second of the race. Yeah. He wasn't there the entire race until the end, which is when it matters. And congratulations to Tyler Reddick. He did run a good race, just wasn't up front.
I mean, sometimes luck is on your side.
Yeah, it is. All right, Dustin, we've been polite up to this point. We've been respectful for each other. That phase of the show is over. Let's talk facts. Let's talk dominance. Let's talk the top 5 linebackers all time at the University of Tennessee.
Man, this is going to be very difficult.
It is. I'm going to go ahead and throw the first player out there.
Okay.
It's Al Wilson, without a doubt.
No,
Al Wilson.
That's who I was going to take.
Yeah, Al Wilson. He had 266 tackles over his career, 27 tackles for a loss, 8 sacks. He was a SEC Defensive Player of the Year, consensus All-American, 6th in the Heisman Trophy voting, which is phenomenal coming from a linebacker position.
Should have been higher.
He was the emotional leader of the national championship team, and he's just not negotiable. He's the best player at linebacker from the University of Tennessee all time.
Yeah, you can't deny Al Wilson. The numbers are there. I mean, he was dominant. He was, like you said, he propelled that defense in the national championship game against Florida State.
Absolutely.
I mean, his emotion after the game, I know as Tennessee fans, we've all probably watched that game dozens of times. He was just a great ambassador for Tennessee, too.
You know, he didn't only do everything on the field. He didn't do the most important things on the field, but he owned the middle of that field.
I mean,
people feared Al Wilson.
Oh yeah,
You had to
players just, you could see sometimes they were just like, please don't hit me.
Nobody wanted to run into him. He was a hard hitter. It hurt. So I'm saying Al Wilson.
Okay.
Al Wilson. But then we have to look at Raynoch Thompson.
I was about to say Raynoch Thompson would be another one. 287 tackles, 20 of those for losses, 12 sacks, 10 interceptions. He would have 1A, 1B, those two players.
I mean, that's great stats, but he never anchored a championship team.
Right, and for Tennessee, that's rarefied air, though.
It is.
You know, we should have won in 01. I don't want to get into all that, but that was a total collapse in that SEC championship game. But yeah, I would still have to say 1A, 1B. Another one I would put up there, A.J. Johnson.
A.J. Johnson, great career, had 300-plus tackles. He was a sideline-to-sideline monster. I mean, he was all over the field, from opponent's sideline to home sideline. He was everywhere. He played defenses without the talent that Wilson played with, but he had phenomenal numbers.
And poor coaching, too.
Absolutely poor
And
coaching.
was still able to dominate.
See, you can be reasonable there, Dustin. You can't forget Gerard Mayo. He was Defensive Player of the Year. He had elite instincts, made immediate impacts when he went to the NFL. Didn't play a full college career, but when he was there, his stats were there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you the dominance, but yeah, the longevity, like I would have to put those other guys above him.
So you're going to punish him, punish excellence because he wasn't here as long?
I wouldn't say punish, but he would have more stats if he would have stayed.
All right. And then you've got we're going with top 5. We're at 4. But I can think of 2 more that deserve to be in the top 5. That would be Kevin Barnett and Eric Westmoreland. Where do you go to from there?
Burnett was like a quiet assassin. You know, he was consistent, athletic. He wasn't so flashy as the other players, but he dominated when he was in there.
Westmoreland had the heart of a champion. He was tough. He led the team. Maybe didn't have the greatness of the other players that we're talking about, but I think he deserves to be in the top 5.
And didn't Burnett break Reggie White's sack record?
Yes, he did.
So I would give, for that set alone, I would have to put him a little bit higher than Westmoreland. Now, Westmoreland was dominant. You know,
He was. Absolutely. So we're going to get into, and we're going to pick our top fives. We're going to lock our own top fives in. And I'm going to start. I'm going to start with Al Wilson. Stats are there. He won a national championship. He's the best linebacker, in my opinion, to ever play at the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, he would have to be number one. Number two, I'm going to go Raynoch Thompson. Number three, I'm going to go Burnett. Just because of that record. Like that record is meaningful.
Yeah, but I'm going to be realistic. I think Gerard Mayo should be a step above Burnett.
This is where we're going to disagree, I guess.
Well, it's going to have to be a disagreement here
Yeah.
because Gerard Mayo made that immediate impact in the NFL. None of the other players did. He had a great career here at Tennessee, moved on. I believe he played at New England.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
he-
coached for 1 year.
So he moved up. He made that immediate impact. And he was SEC Defensive Player of the Year. So I'm just, you've got to put Gerard Mayo at 3.
I got him at 4. Just solely because of that sack record. I mean, breaking a record of arguably top 3, top 2 greatest player in Tennessee football history. Like that's some good company to be in.
But this is my issue with you. Okay? You value versatility more than dominance.
I mean, I think they both were pretty dominant, just in different ways.
I think Mayo had more of his stats are better.
He was a little bit more vocal, but like I said, I'm gonna stick into that with just from that record.
We can agree to disagree on that. We'll go to number 4, which I'm saying is A.J. Johnson.
Yeah, I don't know if you could really argue that. I mean, Westmoreland, he was an anchor, but AJ was just so dominant on a poorly coached team.
Absolutely. Very poorly coached
That was some
team.
dark days to be a Tennessee fan.
So we've got Al Wilson. We've got Raynoch. We're going with mine. It's Gerard. Then AJ. Then I'll give you Burnett.
At 5, nah, he's got to be higher.
I'll leave Barnett at 5. I'll leave Westmoreland out, which shouldn't happen. But we got to have a top 5.
Yeah, it's somebody's getting left out.
So yeah, that's it. I'm going, guys. Listen here. I'm going Al Wilson, Raynoch, Gerard, AJ, and then Barnett. Dustin, you're 5.
Like I said, your list, except I'm putting Burnett at 3. And let us know which one you like, which list you think is better.
Okay, Vol Nation. Now it's your turn. Drop your top 5 Tennessee linebackers of all time. Tell us who's number 1. Go down the list. Tell us who got snubbed. Don't just list names. Bring stats in. Bring context in. Bring receipts in. Agree with us. Disagree with us. But understand this. If your list is weak, we're going to call you out next episode. And we're going to do it publicly right here. But yeah, drop your comments. Check us out on TikTok. It's Fritz Sports Talk with David and Dustin. David and Dustin's on Facebook. Like and subscribe here on YouTube. And that's going to do it for now. Baseball's out. Softball is terrifying. Basketball is stressful. Daytona was insane.
And I'm sure there's more to come.
Yeah, and we didn't really settle the debate on the linebacker, but, I think I'm right.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, guys, if it's orange, it matters. If it raises your blood pressure, welcome to the family.
Thanks for listening. I'm Dustin.
This is on the Sprit Sports Talk, and we'll see you next time.
On the Fritz Sports Talk. Every play, every hit, each touchdown, each blitz. Don't
Live from D&D Studios, where if it's orange, it matters. Here's your hosts, David and Dustin.